Hey guys, welcome back to another Kings of Legacy show. I'm super excited to have you here with me today. And look at us, check us out. A little bit of merch on the go, Kings of Legacy. And in the background here, you can see it somewhere. We've got a cap there. And look at this. This little cheeky guy. Fuck small talk. That's what we're all about. Guys, in today's episode, we're starting off with a really powerful title and something that I fully believe. It's a quote and it's "Your future is not found." And it's such a powerful title because your future is not found. And I really think today's show needs to be broken up into two key parts. So, part one, I want to kind of dive into this first section. So, as a percentage, and ask yourself this question right now, as a percentage of your day, how much time do you actually spend thinking about the future you actually want? How much of your time is actually spent visualizing that future that you want? It's so increasingly easy to, and I'm sure we've all experienced this, especially in recent years, to be fearful of what's to come. And when COVID first started kicking off, I know for me personally, I realized that I was letting the news every single morning just kind of dictate my mindset. And it was almost like installing a fearful mindset. And I was worrying about so many different things. I was worrying about our members. I was worrying about the business not being able to operate. I was worrying about not being able to provide for my family. And there was heaps of worry, heaps of fear around it. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one in this boat. But needless to say, I don't watch the news anymore. But I'll circle back to that in a moment. And we end up spending a large portion of our time worrying about what's going to happen in the future, worrying about your business. Is it performing? Is it making the money that it needs to? Worrying about whether or not you're spending enough quality time with your family, wondering if your kids actually know that you're doing all these long hours for them, worrying about that, worrying about the disconnection that you feel with your partner or the frequency of the arguments that you're having, or maybe the lack of intimacy, worrying about not going to be able to keep up with your kids as they get older, as you get older. Now, how much time do you actually spend thinking of stuff like that? And it's so easy and so common to operate from a place of fear. And I'd like to share a famous quote from about 500 years ago. And it was, "My life is filled with terrible misfortune, most of which never happened." Just think about that for a minute. I love that quote. Now, that quote has actually been backed up with a study, and the study shows that 85% of what we worry about never actually happens. And with the 15% that does happen, the study showed that 79% of the subjects could either handle the difficulty better than expected, or the difficulty taught them a lesson worth learning. So that essentially means 97% of what we worry over is just complete BS. So how do we flip the script on this one? I think there are a couple of things worth noting here, and something I challenge you to pick up on over the next few days are asking yourself, what are your triggers? What triggers you to start your worrying and that fearful mindset? What's triggering you to worry about the 97% of stuff that is never going to actually happen? Are you scrolling on social media? Is it something that pops up in the news? Is it something that someone says? Is it something that you hear? See if you can pick it next time it pops up, because when we can identify the triggers, we can do something about it. Now, moving on to the second part for today's show, and it's your future is not found, you create it. So rather than letting fear consume you, start getting super clear on what you actually do want. Where do you want to be in 12 months' time? What do you want your life to look like in 12 months' time? Get super clear on this. Are you in the same house that you're currently in? Are you in the same country that you currently live in? Are you driving the same car? Are you working in the same role? Are you selling the same product in your business? Are you working the same hours in your current role? Create a compelling vision that makes you excited. And this is so powerful when you do this. And mine is just up here next to me. It's something that I see every single day, and it makes me so pumped every time I see it. And your vision needs to do the exact same thing. You need to create it so that you feel drawn to it. Create a vision for yourself that is so powerful, it changes your energy when you think about it. Once you've done this, it's a case of mentally letting go of the stuff that doesn't serve you and start doing the actions required to ensure that you reach your vision. The more clear, the more of an emotional shifting future that you paint for yourself, the easier it will be to come back, the easier it will be essentially to see the steps required in order for you to get there. And I highly recommending building this visualization into your daily practice. So spending just a couple of minutes each and every day going through and walking through your future life. You don't need to do much. You can just find a quiet spot. You can lay down. You can integrate it as part of your meditation and literally walk through your future self and what you're currently seeing, hearing, doing. Walk through it a couple of minutes each day. I highly recommend you do this. Guys, super quick one from me today. Remember, fuck small talk. We're not here for that. Smash that follow and subscribe button. And until next time, I shall see you in the next episode.